Thanks to the news of Kylie Jenner's pregnancy, it seems like the world has baby fever. Many fans are concerned that Kylie is too young for such a big responsibility. But if they take a look at the celebs on this list, they will see that being a young mother, though difficult, isn't the end of the world. Just wait until you see a certain rapper who had a baby when he was just 15. Before we jump into it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this. For now, keep watching as we reveal 10 celebs who had kids younger than Kylie. Lamar Odom. It's hard to associate Lamar Odom with anything other than the Kardashians and the NBA. But did you know that he is a father? In fact, Lamar was a teen father who got his high school sweetheart pregnant. The two met when Lamar was in 9th grade, and they made things official when they were in 11th grade. It didn't take long for the relationship to escalate. By the time Lamar was 18, he was already a father to his daughter, Destiny Odom. Surprisingly, being a teen dad didn't get in the way of his dreams of becoming an NBA star. But becoming an NBA star did get in the way of him committing to the woman who had his child. The couple was together for 10 years, and throughout the whole relationship, Lamar insisted they wait to get married. Eventually, word came out that Lamar was unfaithful and his girlfriend split from him. While they were separated, the basketball star famously met and fell for Khloe Kardashian. Within 4 weeks, he asked for Khloe's hand in marriage. Sounds a bit strange considering he was just with someone for 10 years and didn't wife her up, but it turns out that Khloe and Lamar weren't meant to be. His substance abuse issues became too much for the reality star to handle. These days, Lamar is trying to keep on the straight and narrow and be a better father to his 2 children. Mandy Teefey. If her name doesn't sound familiar, don't worry. We are pretty sure you know who Mandy Teefey is. Just take a look at her with her daughter. That's right, Mandy is the mother of A-lister Selena Gomez. Thanks to all her success, you would never think that Selena was the child of a teen mother, but it's true. Mandy was just 16 years old when she gave birth to her gorgeous baby girl. Of course, she didn't know at the time, but her baby was destined for greatness, despite having all the odds against her. Mandy and Selena's biological father tried to make things work, but ultimately the young mother became a single mom when she was 21. With the help of her mother, Mandy was able to give Selena the best life she could, but they sometimes lived paycheck to paycheck. Thanks to her mom's stage performances, Selena caught the acting bug. By the time she was 10, she landed a role on Barney and Friends and never looked back. The star has revealed in the past that if she had stayed in Texas, she may have ended up as a teen mom like her mother. But thanks to her mother's hard work and determination, Selena is one of the biggest stars in the world, and all we can say is thank you, Mandy Teefey. Oprah Winfrey. She is one of the biggest celebrities in the world. Because of this, Oprah Winfrey lives a life of luxury that most of us could only dream of. She owns her own network and is worth over $1 billion. Yeah, that's billion with a B. But just because she is a mega rich media mogul doesn't mean her life has always been so glamorous. In fact, Oprah actually came from some pretty humble and tragic beginnings. When she was only 9 years old, the talk show host started being abused by family members. Then, by the time she was 14, she was pregnant at the hands of a family friend. She was so ashamed of her pregnancy that she tried to hide her baby bump. But as time went on, the bump grew larger and there was nothing she could do to keep her secret. As a young teen, she was about to face motherhood. While she did end up giving birth to a baby boy, there were complications and the baby didn't live past a few weeks old. Oprah hid her pregnancy from the media until a family member revealed her story in 1990. Thankfully, she didn't receive any backlash. She has dealt with her loss, and after all this time, she even decided to name her baby Kanan to help with her closure. Roseanne Barr. Actress and comedian Roseanne Barr has been in the public eye for decades. Thanks to her no-nonsense attitude and quick-witted comedy, the star has done well for herself. Roseanne even scored her own TV show in the late 1980s, aptly named Roseanne. The show was so successful that in 2017, ABC announced it was making a short comeback. So, needless to say, Roseanne Barr is a pretty big deal. And though she is a household name these days, many people don't know that she was once a teen mom. In 1970, Roseanne gave birth to a little girl when she was only 17 years old. Knowing that she couldn't properly care for the child, she gave her up for adoption. The star has described that day, saying when the doctors took her baby from her arms, she vowed to find her when she was older. And that is exactly what she did. Roseanne connected with the child she gave away just 17 years later. Not only that, but her adopted daughter even went on to be a production assistant on Roseanne's sitcom. Pretty neat, right? The mother and daughter duo still have a relationship despite their less than stellar beginnings. Though it was a hard choice to give her baby away, we are pretty sure it was the right one for everyone involved. William Shakespeare. Okay, we know he hasn't been around for a while, but we are pretty sure you know who old William Shakespeare is. If you don't, you may need to start rethinking your education. The famous playwright has been serving the world a dose of culture for centuries, even after his death. Because of this, many people find his personal life completely fascinating. One fact that shocks them is that Shakespeare was actually a teen father. When he was just 18 years old, the famous writer fell in love with a woman much older than him. Her name was Anne Hathaway. No, not the modern-day actress actress, another Anne Hathaway. Well, no one is exactly sure if he actually fell in love with Anne because he actually got her pregnant and decided to marry her. This was quite the scandal because Anne was 8 years William's senior, and we could imagine her family wasn't too thrilled. Many believe that Anne's family forced William into a marriage because of the baby. Though that may be the case, he did reference the mother of his child in at least one of his famous sonnets. Sadly, historians can't quite be sure what happened to the two lovebirds as there isn't much documentation. All we know is that Will was a teen father and that Anne became his wife before the child was born, which doesn't sound very romantic for the guy who wrote Romeo and Juliet. Kim Zolciak. Thanks to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kim Zolciak has become a pretty big celebrity and social media star. Though she may be sitting pretty in her million-dollar mansion and married to an NFL player these days, her life wasn't always so fabulous. When Kim was just 19 years old, she found herself starting a new life as a single teen mom. Not only that, but she was in nursing school, which only complicated the situation even more. Thankfully, the tardy for the party singer had her parents to help balance out her school workload and being a new mom. It seems like everything has worked out for the bombshell, and she claims that her daughter deserves all the credit. If it weren't for her having a child so young, she wouldn't have had the drive to get out of bed every day and hustle to make her life better. She came out the other side even more amazing than she was before she had her firstborn. Plus, she needed the practice of being a mom because she now has 6 children with her hunky husband. We are so happy that she overcame the obstacles that come with being a young mom and has come out on top. Evelyn Lozada. Another reality star who was able to rise to the top after being a teen mom is Evelyn Lozada. The Basketball Wives star was only 17 years old when she gave birth to her beautiful daughter, Shanice. Looking at the pair today, you would think they were actually sisters, not mother and daughter. Seriously, have you ever seen a more beautiful mother-daughter duo? In the past, Evelyn has explained that she was actually okay with being a teen mom. She explained she was fearless because she was so young and maybe a bit naive. Now that her daughter is in her 20s, it's like the two have grown up together. Just look at these photos of the pair when they were younger. They only prove that the reality star has always been gorgeous. They also show that Evelyn was a great mom before she was even a legal adult. What is more interesting is the fact that the star went on to have another child 20 years after having her first. So now she has 2 kids with a 20-year age gap between them. It must be pretty strange to be a parent to an adult and a toddler at the same time. Evelyn expressed as much when she said that the difference is that she has a lot less energy and her young son definitely keeps her busy. Aretha Franklin. When we think of Aretha Franklin these days, we think of her as a modern-day goddess of soul music. Her career spans decades, and she was even the first and only female solo artist inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There are only 25 acts total at the museum, so this is actually a huge deal. Even though she was a huge success, Aretha dealt with some dark times during her rise to fame. When she was a little girl, her father was a preacher, but he had a sinister side. He would host adult parties that exposed the singer to some risky situations at a young age. Because of this, she was 12 years old the first time she became pregnant. She later had the baby when she was 13, and by the time she was 14, she was expecting another. That's right, Aretha Franklin didn't just have one baby in her teens, she had 2. Both of her children took her last name, and she raised them with the help of her mother and grandmother. But the hard times weren't over for this young mother. Her insecurities about her talent, looks, and whether she was a fit mother led her to substance abuse. It took her a while to pull through, but by the time the 70s rolled along, she was a full-fledged soul diva and never looked back. Lil Wayne. Rapper Lil Wayne is one of the biggest artists in the hip-hop music scene. He's been able to stay relevant for nearly 2 decades, all while building a rap empire. But did you know that Lil Wayne was a teen father? Back in 1998, the rapper was still in high school and became a dad when he was just 15 years old. He and his high school sweetheart, Toya Wright, may have been young and in love, but they actually tried to make the relationship work. They eventually got married in 2004, but divorced quickly after that in 2006. And though the couple has had their ups and downs, it seems like Lil Wayne still has visions of being with his high school sweetheart in the future. Back in 2016, Toya released a book and shared some texts that she hinted were from the rapper. They talked about how he thought of her as his first love and tries to see her in every woman he is with. He even expressed that he hoped that they would be reunited as a family one day. But according to his ex, his lifestyle is just too crazy for them to ever get back together. Though he has said he would straighten out his ways if it meant getting her back. Who knew that Lil Wayne was such a softie? We kind of hope these two find a way to get back together, don't you? Sofia Vergara. All it took was one hit TV show, Modern Family, to make Sofia Vergara a household name. People can't get enough of this fiery bombshell, and it's not hard to see why. She's gorgeous, has a wicked sense of humor, and is married to one of the hunkiest guys in Hollywood. But despite all that, the star didn't have the easiest rise to fame. When she was just 18 years old, Sofia married her high school sweetheart, and by the time she was 19, she was a teen mother. The actress has explained in the past that this was the best way for her to step into motherhood. Because she was so young, she had all the energy she needed to chase down her young young son. Now that her son is in his 20s, the two are closer than ever. He's even appeared in a Got Milk campaign with her. And now that she is older and amongst the ranks of other Hollywood elites, you would think this would be the perfect time to add to her family. But that isn't the case for this Colombian star. She and her husband, Joe Manganiello, aren't even thinking about having children at the moment. They are too busy being in love and enjoying their marriage. But could there be the sound of tiny pattering feet in their future? We sure hope so. If you like this video, react in the comment section below, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Thanks for tuning in to The Taco.